they call on them for making such in conscience and say, okay, with all of these issues, past and present, we don't come around me. For the purpose of my sanity and for the good of this nation, being a public servant, I resign. That will sort of revive the integrity belief where we get. If he does not do that, then we're saying the precedent for making clear the smearing belief or perception of people. Say, okay, he has been calling this man, make it clear than now, and make this man, make it using authority for suspend him pending the investigation. We cannot push it to say relieve him now because maybe we go say it's too much, it's unfair, it's an allegation that has to be proven.
We look at issues surrounding the release we come up from the Lawyers Society with regards to Dr. Sandy, the Minister of Work and Public Assets, as we just been joined by the PRO for the Lawyers Society, we na Chloe Abami Davis. Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Show. It's a pleasure having you.
Good morning, Liberty Online Television, and good morning, listeners and viewers.
All right, so the civil side owner come together with other civil society organizations, Citizens Advocacy Network, when I can campaign for good governance, when a CGG, Institute for Governance Reform, when a IGR, the Citizens Barry, and Una Lawyer Society as well, when all been come together and pull a press statement of sound and they say, when they call for the suspension of Dr. Dennis Moinina Sandy, when the Minister of Works pending investigation into allegation of fraudulent conduct. And this is an issue within the trend na the social media. A lot of people then take and we talk to the judiciary, we confirm to we via phone say they don't do a whole investigation on this issue and there is a report. Hopefully we'll try to get the PRO whilst they get this conversation. Firstly, now you represent all the civil society organizations there. We are just mentioned, not just there for lawyers. Let me go way back into where this issue starts. We see Usai Michael and Michael, we are the solicitor for this estranged wife of Dr. Dennis Sandy, where they in the middle, they say a conduct fraudulent act and then they demand for a fee of $100,000. We will go discuss firstly how UNA and then civil society organization there come together and pull this kind of statement, they demand for the resignation of sacking of Dr. Sandy.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, the show say people are aware of the events of things in the country, right? Now, them 7 bodies here come together because this is pointing to the integrity of we nation. If a whole minister who is a public servant, who is expected to perform with integrity, honesty, and sincerity, is now a subject of, or was a subject of investigation where the report comes and the report presented by no less a persons but 3 judges, one of the Supreme Court, Winner Justice Glenn Thompson, and 2 Court of Appeal judges, Winner Justice Bintu Aladi and Monfred Sise. They go into the issues on the allegations where they say Dr. Dennis Sandy obtain fictitious and fraudulent divorce order. So then 7 bodies here look and say, we can be the minds or the mouth for the people of Sierra Leone. If person where the government entrust for deal with affairs of the Ministry of Works and Public Assets, where they serve in a government, can go in meander in way and get documents say this na court game where not to court game, then it is time for us to speak up and ask that person, based on the report done by those 3 judges and the findings, resign, or the president using authority for dismissal. This is an issue of integrity. Let me just give a background, first of all, on how divorce matters. I mean, just a short background, right, for people then. Yeah. Now, divorce, you dey file the petition. If you, like in the Dr. Sandy, we say, na the petitioner, na institute the divorce action, it ought to have filed a divorce petition. When you file that divorce petition, you dey serve that petition on the wife. So the wife, they get knowledge, say, an action has been instituted for dissolution of we married. Now, that wife they himself now they get the winner, the respondent, in this case, for make himself go get lawyer where they enter an appearance for them to that petition filed by the petitioner we forbid Dr. Sandy. Now, after we enter the appearance, himself they file, an answer to the petition, waiting the question based on waiting go in the petition, waiting agree to an answer, and if he get need, he file a cross petition. Say himself the cross petition the person, the way you say counter report or counter case, right? Then that matter they get for be assigned to a judge. After they exchange all them papers, then they go before a judge. The judge invites the two parties them for testify na a court. When they testify, the judge get for reserve based on the number of witnesses we then get. The judge get for reserve that file it for ruling and give the ruling. And at that point, we call them a decree nisi. 9/4 idegi, right? And the decree nisi they subsist for a period. But if the lawyer where they represent any of them say, okay, you don't get the judge don't give this decree nisi, want to make an application for abridgment of time, make this nisi when a temporal become decree absolute. So none of that was done. And from the findings of Dr. Sandy not do anything, file petition. The matter was not before a judge. There was no appearance because, of course, file petition. How you go serve the person? So he breached all the court judicial processes, and then go obtain judgment and paper. He say this is an order of divorce or dissolution of our marriage from court.
That was the point I did try for raise. Whether, like you don't mention, whether I go through all the processes that or just move along and get within because plenty people will say when you go you filing for divorce, it takes you a long time. It takes you a long process for achieve just for confirm. You're not able to go through none of them processes.
None of the processes we Adam outlined so was followed. None. Absolutely none. In fact, from the report, they say he used one Magnus Coca where na person way not to qualify persons, not to lawyer, and not get any legal credentials. Get away inside for go get fake paper and say that na divorce. So we're troubled by if somebody where we entrust with the affairs of the state as a minister, not to be honest in those little things. This is not your own personal, quiet business. He cannot be honest. How much more, based on the report and the findings, how much more on issues of the nation? So now all the things you don't consider, say, that kind mandate. First of all, if the recommendations then say, therefore refer them to anti-corruption. All right? So if the recommendations say, and that kind mandate then na government, we believe, say, if then thing come out, it gets integrity and not say it can no longer serve in good conscience if or just resign, or the president using authority for suspend them pending the investigation by the referred bodies.
They call for two things.
Yes.
Either okay, just a disclaimer for viewers them. Liberty TV tried for reach Dr. Dennis Sandy, but as always, na possible not the call, so not able to get them for let go. We will get opportunity for clear a name based on all the allegation there. So where they on and now, what they discuss, and also the first attendees where they try for reach out to Dr. Sandy. Let's come back to you with the question we're going for ask you, Claude. Yes, this same individual where a whole government minister, a position, it is serve as a cabinet minister. Not so the first attendees allegation don't they come out for him.
That's right.
The last one now on a stepdaughter, we make allegations say it be abuse them where it be small.
That's right.
Other women's rights group then been calm, put pressure on the same things there. Now, Una again with 6 other civil society, reputable civil society organization them, they call on His Excellency for relieve this man off in duty because Una believes say he not do honorable thing for fraud documents of the states.
Yes.
How far Una feel say Una voice them go?
Well, we believe say, I mean, as you rightly mentioned, there have been spate of incidents where this minister don't get involved in. And we believe say, the government should hear us out and act. We are not dictating to government. We're saying that if government really want to make the people of Sierra Leone no say it's a government we stand against anything we get for question integrity, we get for question your sincerity, and you have such a person for listening to the people of Sierra Leone for say, and this is not the first time for say, no, this man, let him take the back seat for this moment. And we believe, say the president gets the authority, now he appoint him, right? If at this stage he advisable say, not for sack him, not for relieve him, he can suspend him. Okay? For reason of fairness, say, okay, let me suspend him whilst there is this investigation by anti-corruption or whatever tribunal body.
The SLPP government, where you know, as a citizen, President Bio, where you know, say, as your president, you think it go listen to them demands here, because there are several issues we don't happen at the country. We get for those governance, human rights, you name them. Where citizens they know they demand them for take actions, but nothing they happen. Why on your own demand you feel say it different?
Okay, we first of all will get for put pressure on this for make sure say we get the expected outcome, because again it points to all of us as Sierra Leoneans. Say, if something like this they happen orchestrated by a minister of government, and then the government cannot act, then it is embarrassing to all of we as Sierra Leoneans. I'll give you examples. In England, in the UK, you get 2 prime ministers, 2 cabinet ministers that will resign, Javid and Sunak, during Boris in time, because they feel say Boris was not proper for govern, not to the same circumstance. I just tell you about integrity of people, right? So Sunak and Javid, they say, no, because you appoint D, we get sexual scandal, and you say you not be able for no or realize say that person was not competent, then put them to the prime minister who was Boris then, tell and say you for dismiss that person there because not to person will get the integrity for all such a position. Turning, Boris not been doing, then people and they resign. They resign from office. And Boris himself as prime minister later resigned because he lost the confidence of his prime ministers. This is not governance issue. People are calling for one minister. They are not telling you, make you sack all your ministers or suspend all your ministers. This has been a minister where don't get series of allegations on him. So what you should do as a listening government, which we believe, because this is not the first time, we know say this self will get to president and he will say, no, I cannot subject my government to scrutiny because of an individual. And we believe say because of the seriousness of this, we point to the judiciary. Don't forget this now, the judiciary itself don't conduct an investigation. And the adjectives used, they say, first of all, Dennis Sandy, Dr. Dennis Sandy, proved for be an unimpressive witness, you know, and unimpressive witness, we use cavalier approach, we use arrogance and all, forget what he wants. So you know go look such a report of no mean persons, but persons of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, then pull them. They have no personal issue against the person who are the subject matter, but based on the evidence we then see. And I'm sure President would not want this to just be swept under the carpet.
From the investigation we the forgery we the minister do, na alone do or he gets support or aid from the court?
Well, mention from the report. The report mentioned say he used a certain Magnus Cocker. Okay, we not get legal credentials. He use he purport say there is one other lawyer we do the paper, all right, and definitely there must have been one or two people within the but that is I mean the judiciary has taken note of the people and then they go through administrative sanctions. We all go to hear one or two people being subject of suspension whilst the investigation. So, but the fact now that is pointing to a cabinet minister. That is why we're saying those other people, they're not just private individuals, but somebody who has been entrusted with the responsibility for governing, because a cabinet minister is part of governance for governing, and then he is involved. He is so involved in the fraudulent act, then we ought to call for his resignation. If he has integrity, to resign. If he does not, the president can invoke his powers for making suspend him.
Claude, let's take you way back. It's time where this same minister been there at the Ministry of Lands. A lot of issues then be they happen at the Ministry of Lands. Every day na Dr. Sandy, people then be there, but even at some point, if they get issues with the Creole, them say they don't get land in Freetown, and go and change an entire community in name and the pauper town. A whole lot of issues, and President been pulling force na that ministry day before he appoints him back as Minister of Public Assets. During the way the president being pulled na the ministry, a lot of people be rejoiced if you follow the trends on social media by then. But bringing him back should say President gets a thing for Dr. Dennis Sandy, and a lot of people they look at like this person way untouchable. I still they ask the question if we are going to succeed in getting President Bio for relieve him off in duty permanently, or you say maybe he suspend them for us.
Yes. So with all them things then they again where you don't recount, so this is the time for the president for sure say he has got no special spots for this minister. If he don't do one or two, you see, now they talk. If you don't do 2, 3 things, we don't question you. And this is about the 4th or 5th time. You have all reasons to act. Let us say the president give him chance. Say, okay, he don't do number 1, he don't do number 2. Okay, let me recall him and see if he would be a change man. We only give chances to people who may have made mistakes, or we go don't falter one way or the other. But if you give this person chance again, then he can't do this thing. Now he has gone beyond the ordinary. He don't go inside the judiciary. A whole body and a whole arm of government. You don't weigh there, then you put the judiciary in image to scrutiny, because people are asking how would he obtain fictitious or fraudulent order without the involvement of officers of the court. So you're subjecting the judiciary. After where you don't subject the executive to scrutiny.
Claude, I will still ask you,
yes.
How Dr. Dennis Sandy managed this particular order without the support of the court?
Well, I mean,
is it possible for get without the support of people within the judiciary?
Well, yes, because it's fraudulent. That is why the reporter said it is fraudulent, because it not go through the appropriate authorities. For let you get a court order, 1, it has to be, as I say, you get the petition, and that order has to be signed by the master and registrar of the court. So the order, whether it's signed by the master and registrar of the court, the evidence is there on the report. The order, whether na from actually the court on a person go sit on a corner. You mentioned the lawyer we he say he use Michael. They're asking for $100,000 because then they use people farms names. Say, oh no, now this farm nine do, because it has to have a farm name. Even Bets and Berewa, they call for damages because they use them farm in name. Pan one of the documents them where they not get handy. So if you see the farm Bets and Berewa on paper, you go feel see now they actually do them. Why not to them? Then they go forge their signature. So all of that nine accumulates into forgery, and so we have to put pressure on this person because It is a deliberate act. This is not a mistake. This is not a mistake. It is a deliberate act for make you think. In criminal law, we get what we call the mens rea, the mental state. For make you think, say, I have bypassed all of the judicial processes, and me they go sit down now, me corner, use whosoever, and say I don't get court order against me for sure, and say I don't divorce. So we are going to put pressure, and we trust that the president is hearing us, that we're saying, if Dr. Sandi's integrity, which we expect he does, if he doesn't resign, then we will conclude that he does not have the integrity.
Looking at Dr. Dennis Sandi as an individual, assessing him, you think that somebody will get integrity?
I will give him the benefit of the doubt at this point, because we call on him for making such in conscience and say, okay, with all of these issues, past and present, we don't come around me. For the purpose of my sanity and for the good of this nation, being a public servant, I resign. That will sort of revive the integrity belief where we get. If he does not do that, then we're saying the president, for make it clear the smearing belief or perception of people, say, okay, he has been calling this man, make it clear than now, and make this man, make it use the authority for suspend him pending the investigation. We cannot push it to say relieve him now, because maybe we go say it's too much, it's unfair, it's an allegation that has to be proven.
Lord, these same presidents, now they demand, say, if I relieve Dr. Sandi off in duties, now the same president when in office don't face the same issues there, issues of fraud in document receipts based on the audit reports, where reports say they forge hotel receipts, figures where they say they pay na Lebanon the tell the presidents go there, na mismatch based on the audit reports of Lara Taylor Pierce and Tamba Momo. The same round again, instead of it take action against the people, because the audit reports will point finger at the scope. Now Lara and Tamba Momo don't end up lost their job now. So if somebody went on battle with their allegation there of fraud in receipts, you get a staff where you appoint as a minister, instead of the battle with this same thing of forging a divorce, you think it could really take action, or it go happen the other way around, say maybe now it's go on the judiciary?
Well, now this we can say the jury will be out to decide. Now, you have pointed again these issues. So this is an opportunity again to the president for making say, me own government, right? I am not, I'm not a condone anything we get for do with integrity, sincerity, and honesty. Yes, the audit report was there, and we all have our views about it, and the action we're taken by them, we're taken against the Auditor General and the assistant. If you allow another issue for come and you don't act, it gives the public a further impression about the government. So, as I say, it is an opportunity for the government for show to the world, say, they're not a condone anything we get for do with insincerity and dishonesty. And if a public officer is found in that cage, the government or the president gets duty now for make a relieve them, for clear the government in image, and for make we know say, yes, this government, because, if you not do this, just as how you don't point out, it is like we are normalizing these things. That is why we are calling for this. Let it not appear like say, all of these things are happening and nothing comes out from them. So, for making not like say, the states, they normalize, or any institution where relates to anything, they normalize anything by not giving attention or doing what people are calling for, we have to act. And this is an opportunity for the government, for the president to act, especially where he involves this minister who is entrusted with the responsibilities of governing the state as well.
In as much as when they ask the government for act, and also they ask the minister for resign, somebody will watch, we see this part of the wall especially in Africa, Sierra Leone to be precise. It's difficult for let people come out, and resign for certain things and we public go don't allege about them. You feel say if the minister fail for resign or government fail for take action against the minister, we think will be the way forward with regards to this matter?
Again, it comes to individual differences. There are people who don't resign in government, all right? I remember like Val Collier, the former then anti-corruption commissioner, a long time ago. He not been there in amity with one or two things where they happen in government. He resigned. Yeah, we quite recently, Solomon Jamiru, right? So it's about the individual. Now I make say if you deem yourself for be somebody who get integrity, you should resign. And if he not resign when on your volition, having regard to all of the issues around them, the government, the president, gets the right for invoking powers and say, I they relieve you or I they suspend you first. And that is why it is pointing to the president. If he not resign, where all man they feel he couldn't, then the president can. So he not stop there. If you cannot resign, me get power for pull you force whilst they investigate you. So that is why we're pushing it. Say, do you with a call on the government, the president? If this man not resign, like how they talk so from the date, because that press release, that joint press release, they come out on the 4th of May. Today is the 7th, 3 days after, it's 72 days, or 72 hours rather. So we are expecting him now, and now we don't come on air for the world to hear us. Say we are calling for his resignation or suspension by the president. Make he left that position force whilst he's being investigated.
So now, with all indications, based on waiting, UNACEF the courts that is press release, the reports within now, with recommendations and other things, them. Una be expect say by now the police for don't come in and call Dr. Dennis Sandy for questioning with all the evidence there?
Oh yes, this report don't come up from the 2nd day of April 2025. So it's over 1 month, all right? The reports don't come out. Now, will they expect the police based on the findings of... And, again, this is what I am saying. If 3 judges, this is not for people and go sit on a corner or any ordinary people, 3 judges based on the evidence, don't pull that kind of report today. The police, as an arm of the law enforcement agencies, should have come in. The recommendation made by that report, by that investigating committee to the Anti-Corruption Commission, then said for don't come in now and say, we're inviting you for further questioning and investigation. So we are expecting, this thing, it's a dynamic. We get 7 bodies that we come. We're playing our own part. You get the law enforcement bodies, them, where they say for embrace this investigation and say, let us deep further into this and get this man into our books.
Claude, I ask you this question about the involvement of the police. Forget to lead to my next questions. This particular man, quote and unquote, all man know for executive orders. Now somebody will just grab and give executive order. Now somebody will change a whole community to a name way related to a political party. Now somebody will don't battle with allegation of rape based on waiting in step picking say. And this same posse again with all the evidence there, the police up till now, from April to now, nobody not even call them to question. If Sarah I magazine and UNACEF not been come together and pull this particular press statement, we make we self na the press they call Una now for ask Una questions, don't go explain, let the public get clear understanding. Maybe this might just go under the carpet as usual.
Well,
you think Dr. Dennis Sandy untouchable? Well,
fine. So this is a point that will form a conclusion. Say Dr. Dennis Sandy is a sacred cow in the government.
You hold our opinion.
Yes. If this we call not all water based on waiting, we don't ask. Say make it resign, or if it not resign,
but
make the president.
Days from the 4th.
Yes. So I agree. It's been. So now that we have come public by a press release, when at the 4th, we then go say, okay, the release was out, and the report was out from the 2nd of April, but no institution called for his resignation or his suspension. So we don't call now the 4th. So this is 72 hours away from the 4th. And we're now in public forum. From the 4th, we don't pull out, we joint press release calling for his resignation. Today being the 7th, we're on air asking that he resigns or he be suspended by the president. Let us see if nothing is going to happen, and then we'll conclude that he is really a sacred cow and somebody that is untouchable, even with all of these issues of dishonesty, allegations of sexual, sexual offenses, misuse and abuse of powers, all of that. We are waiting after today to see if he is really a sacred cow or somebody who is above the law and untouchable. And then we'll take next step.
In as much as we look at this issue of forgery, where the minister do, divorce issues can be difficult and complicated, for handle with. So how long it can take somebody for filing in divorce, then from that the court can able for get a decision with regard to that?
Okay, it will depend first of all on the schedule of the court or the judge. But normally, when you file your divorce petition, if the person gets right for enter appearance within 14 days from the date where he received the divorce petition. So let us say on the 1st of May, you receive your divorce petition, 14 working days. Take it to sometime the 20th of May, all right? You don't get 14 working days, 3rd week, right? Then it don't enter appearance, and then instead file within 10 days, he file in answer to the petition and cause review. So give and take a month for that process day. And then in lawyer gets other papers, same way you call affidavit of venue, registrar certificate, all of those are filed. And then the matter goes before a judge, assigned before a judge. If una no get plenty witnesses, now you the husband no more and the wife get for testify, because this is a private thing, right? You don't need for go get 5, 6 witnesses, depending on una circumstances anyway of una marriage. So if now una 2 no more, give and take, you testify today. Next week, the wife himself testify. It's 2 weeks, right? And then the lawyers, they write then closing address, because you gave to address the court based on the evidence we una do adduce before the court and on the law, right? The petitioner in your lawyer address, the respondent himself in your lawyer address. The file is reserved for ruling by the judge. So 2 months, 3 months, if it is not a complicated issue. 3 months max if you don't give ruling. So, if it's so complicated, you get forget expert witnesses, sometimes witness no they tongue, it can prolong a little bit. So it depends on the circumstance of the matter. But in this case, we're deeming like 3 months would have been enough on the outside for get through the judicial processes and obtain.
So Dr. Sandy did it in a hurry? We make it go to the extent of forging documents?
Well, that is
or
what
not
people
just believe in the judicial system.
People will think, one, because maybe he never believed in your reason for filing petition against the wife. So he circumvents the court processes. Or he just wants for use power. Say, me na cabinet minister. Just like we don't do things them, he don't go name a partner in the country after in party call him Paupa village or Paupa community. So he believes he gets so much power that he not get for subject himself to the whims and caprices or the dictates of the court. He don't do land issues. He grab, he say, them people we are not for own land. He give all kind policies without being questioned. So he don't do things them, and I agree that now all of them things then they don't amplify them so for making carry these things. I don't get respect for this court, even though I need court order, but I can circumvent and do fictitious things and fraud the papers and say I get them from court. So it will, I mean, we will not hold anyone, I mean, I mean, for say, they wrong for think, say, this man believes, say, he is so powerful that he does not want to subject himself to any authority, or if he'll say no more, and not believe in case for make it properly file a petition and serve the wife.
All right, continue for the show. In case you just tune in, you watch the breakfast show live na Liberty TV with a stream na Facebook, YouTube, and also na we website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. And in case you just tune in, like a recap of the issues that we don't discuss. Earlier, we talked to the president for the Koidu Limited, where na been workman them within this particular mining company na Kono. If you don't follow Liberty TV extensively, we don't cover these issues from where they start then strike. Yesterday, the company pulled a letter who said and dismissed over 1,000 of them workmen there, where they say na for misconduct. We talked to them President Charles Kindness, we believe say then disadvantage them and the company for pay them. But according to the company, they say they're not entitled to any pay or benefit to look at that issues there. And now we did discuss 7 civil society organizations them we come together and pull a press release to say and they demand say Dr. Dennis Sandy, when the Minister of Works and Public Assets, for resigning position as minister, or President Bio Sakam, because he forged divorce documents them, and this according to the civil society organization, they are day against accountability and transparency. We get Claude Bami Davis, where they represent the 7 civil society organization there, when are the officer for Lawyer Society Sierra Leone.
Claude, with regards, as you don't give me an insight of how this starts and issues surrounding, filing divorce and all. Well, so what you want to know how the judiciary come for fair note about this forgery? Is it coming from the wife, or was it within the judiciary when able to pick up this forgery?
Well, yes. First of all, we see the lawyer, like Michael and Bets and Bewa, they write, let's say, they understand, say, they use the name for certain document. They use them backing, because we legal papers, then we get what we call backing. It has to be backed by lawyers, okay? So then 2 firms, then they question, because when they see an order, definitely Dr. Sandy must have sent the order to the UFC, but I don't divorce you. And that is where the issue erupted. Say, oh, how you divorce me? Me no know. I was not served with any papers. Instead consult, right? A consulting lawyer with a Michael, right? And they say, oh, no, there was no, and checking. So the first thing was, Michael write letter to the judiciary, the CJ, and bring out the issues. And that was what provoked or warranted the investigation. Say, if the lawyer, they say, they not do any of them, Bets and Bewa, then say, now we even file the paper. We not file any paper. So now the issues, then they come up, we make the judiciary say, well, we need to investigate. And that is why they investigated court orders. In fact, not only this one. Orders them way the court will feel say something now don't pass through the judicial processes where they don't grant before. All that have been investigated.
As they get this conversation with viewers themselves as well, they get their own conversation at the comment section. Clearly they show they then self-believe say Dr. Sandy is a sacred cow and President Bio no go relieve her of in duties. When I don't make this demand now from the 4th of May to today, when at the 7th, about 3 days. Yeah. Any timeline in terms of the actions from the president or Dr. Dennis Sandy himself, when hopeful say he go try for uphold integrity and do the honorable thing for resign.
Yes, as I say, we don't get 3 days. Today is the 3rd day. We would review our position and meet again as bodies if nothing is said by the close of business of today, right? We will review our position and know what will come after this if we not hear anything, the resignation of the minister himself or the president taking action from the call they make so.
What will come out of this? Una now one of the organization, they will join the 6 other organization there, and Una sit there as a body, we get members them, we not lawyers them, we not understand the constitution or the laws of Sierra Leone. If this demand owner they make, presidents not take any action, Dr. Sandy not do the honorable thing, based on the laws of the land, you know better because you're not a lawyer. Una get the right for drag them to the courts because in the release, una emphasize on issues of transparency and accountability. Una get the powers.
Yes, as Naimeka say, we will not want to make public our approach if we know hearing nothing, but we will come back to the public with a position. We know we're empowered by the law to take certain steps. And again, the wife safe gets lawyers. Don't forget, the reporter said he has been an active participant. Dr. Sandy was actively involved in the fraudulent act. So say, Mrs. Sandy, in lawyers them, then will take instruction now as to what they will do next. And we, as bodies, joint body, we go take action definitely if we know anything from this we call for resignation or suspension. We will come back to the public.
We don't hear issues of forgery, even from ordinary citizens, but for let it reach to the highest level of a government minister and a public servant, allegedly, they forge documents we get for do with the judiciary. Usai Salonde as a nation.
It is, when they make me opening statement, they say, it is embarrassing to all of us. And this is an issue of integrity, accountability, and transparency. I am very much convicted. I am optimistic, say, this is not an issue that is going to be swept under the carpet. Let me be proven wrong after today or days to come, but I believe that the president self would hear this and say, I cannot allow one person, unless otherwise, as I say, it's a presumption now that Dr. Dennis Sandy is a sacred cow. It's a presumption. We assume as lawyers, it's a presumption that can be rebutted. It's a rebuttable presumption. We're giving it to His Excellency the President for making rebut that presumption. They say, this man a sacred cow. Make it act and make you know say in government now a listening government and in order to play with issue of transparency and accountability. Dr. Dennis Sandy owes it to us as the people of Sierra Leone for make it prove say he's honest. And if he has faltered, he gets for do the honorable thing and say, oh, me, I don't miscalculate my actions. Let me resign. Make and not subject myself to further scrutiny. Or the president say, no, I'm not going to allow one person for come smear the image of me government or even me as president. We appoint them. So we're waiting. We hope, as I say, I am optimistic that the president is going to take action in the event that Dr. Sandy fail for resign.
Even as when you're optimistic of waiting for the decision we go come up for the president. I only mentioned about the Anti-Corruption Commission for coming and investigate this issue. But it's been a while when I released this letter to the public. As we talk, it's been days, weeks ahead when the release been out. If you say anti-corruption for don't pull forward with to the issue as of when I released the letter to now, even the government of Sierra Leone has mentioned about the president.
Yes, I say this now a fight where all of the relevant or related bodies for save the image of we country. And we're still hoping, say, anti-corruption, based on the recommendation of those 3 judges, will take up this issue. Don't forget, this press release not just come up from any institution. It come up from Campaign for Good Governance. This is an institution where don't they get invoice for everything we get for do with good governance. You get Citizens Advocacy Network. It's a body also. So now reputable bodies then they call so now. You get Citizens Barre, Freedom Hub, you get Institute for Governance Reform, ILRAJ, and of course the Lawyer Society. When we were established, we make a clear say, we would go to the length and breadth for make sure say accountability, transparency and good governance are seen to be practiced. And that is why we have joined the voices of those other 6 for make we call on this. We're waiting. We know say government no go treat we light, no go take this thing for granted and say, oh, they are just talking. Because now one of the tenets this of democracy, and if we were to be seen practicing democracy, the voices of the people must be heard by the government, especially when it involves a public.
Lots of messages don't come in, and I'll just look at some of the messages there. So we'll come back to Claude for let it go respond that they read from Facebook. And the first one way at the take it come out from Lolo Gasparini is say how does a government minister even have the audacity to forge a certificate? It's a national embarrassment in any serious country. Then Sandy will already be facing jail time. The conversation shouldn't be about resignation or dismissal. This is a clear case of prosecution.
I'll take the next one. It comes from Ronald Bransford. He said not only him of his duty, but must be taken to court for the Fraudulent Act. That should be a shame on a whole minister that have reputable mark in this government.
Ronald Beresford, Ignatius George Stone, they say forgery is a serious offense which should lead to jail term, and for a minister of government that is even more serious, because if he's not held to account, then the system is rotten and not fit for purpose.
The next one comes from Abdullah B. Lokule. He said, I'm deeply concerned about the situation with Koidu Limited. The government's support for the people is expected to be as high esteemed. The company refusal to pay former employees their benefits lack legal justification, as no company in Sierra Leone is above the law. I urge the government to demonstrate that Sierra Leone is a country of integrity that will not tolerate abuse from any employer to their employees.
Anthony King, they say Dr. Sandy won't resign. President Bio should relieve him based on the unbiased judge's reports.
The next one they come out from Paul Kanu. He say Dennis Sandy is untouchable because he has full backing of the president and the first lady.
Harry Williams, they say Dennis Sandy don't commit a crime, so police gets the right for interview him, and after the interview, police get the right for charge if they convince say they don't commit a crime. At this point, Sandy either resign or wait for bail for Sakam.
The next one they come from Fode Mustafa Toure. He says Salon is a country where moral ethics are not relevant. Dennis Sandy, Paran, Abbas Bundu, Ben Kelfala, Kekekma, and many others should never have been close to government by this time. They should have either resign or sack.
All right, quickly log on YouTube and take from reviewers then. Will Bangura, they say Dennis Sandy again. I'm not surprised. Madabio publicly told Sierra Leonean that he only hired people he knows, like Dennis Sandy, David Francis, Jacob Safa, Parantarawali, and many others.
The next one comes from Omar Mara. It's a cheap country this, where other African countries the mineral resources and we support foreign companies against the Sierra Leone borders.
This one they say, why didn't the civil society organizations stand together for the election results, and that will have solved all these issues?
The next one, they come from Suleiman Kamai. Say the country is really hard for 1,000 workers to lose a job at this time. This is really serious. I pray that Allah can take with control of those workers.
All right, well, the last one where they take now from YouTube, they come out from Brian Makane. They ask, say, where were you when a sitting vice president was unconstitutionally removed?
The last one we go take, it come out from Ibrahim Mukhtar. He say, summary dismissal is too much punishment in this situation. I am sure salon labor laws are weak, and we need to review them. I'm not too familiar with the local regulations.
All right, many messages. We apologize if we're not able to read your message because of time, and we need for give Claude time for let go respond to some of our messages. Them well, Claude, from viewers them on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, thank you very much, viewers and listeners. Let me start with Brian McCanney. You know, I think Sierra Leone gave a move away from this. It has say where were we or Usa Obinde. We then sack sitting vice president. I should say, Brahma can recall, he gonna say the Bar Association then pull out a release. We take a position, all right. Then this issue of vice president being sacked, nothing will even reach to the ECOWAS court. So not of us say nothing was done, okay? And again, not to because then things then they even don't happen mean say there should not be a point where we will say no, you know what, let us stop this. There has to be that point. So coming for all people that are accountable now, not being say, oh, because things end up happening in the past, so we not get right, we not get any authority for make we can't turn up for all people that are accountable. So we have to move past that now. That we move, say no, we have to be holding people accountable. And if we start them, then we know say we prevent recurrences of those things. Yes, we already hear the comment. I think the viewers them share the sentiment of the 7 bodies we pull this press release. Say this is a national embarrassment, and we call on the minister for resign, or if he not resign, as somebody they say in believe, say the minister not get for resign based on waiting they don't know about them over the years. So we call on the president to get power when I appoint him for making self step aside or you're relieved. The issue of jail term, fraud, those things are for the police, and they use this platform now for call on the police equally. So this is not about only the resignation of the minister himself, when on his own volition, if he so desires, or the president relieving him or suspending him. It is also for the police as law enforcement agency for make themselves take up this issue. There is already a report. We don't see situations where they're not going to make reports to police take on the issue. This should not be an exception. Therefore, even come now and say, based on the findings of those reports, of those judges, we investigate Dr. Dennis Sandy on fraud and forgery. The Anti-Corruption Commission, their name is mentioned in the report. Now the responsibility, now the duty for invite Dr. Sandy for questioning and make the institute corruption-related investigation against them. So we call on all them bodies then. Yes, we press release state on the resignation and or the suspension by the president. But now I am using this forum for further call on the police and the Anti-Corruption Commission for make them do what is honorable and what is expected of them.
The silence of the institution there, we just make mention, the police, the Anti-Corruption Commission, from April where these reports don't come more to now, a lot of people know about them because of the press statements where UNAPOL as joint bodies. You think saying that because of the person we involved, like a government minister, or not just an oversight, say this now issue of public interest to investigate them and bring Dr. Sandy to book. Because not so this normal, as we done the state earlier during the conversation, a whole lot of issues of allegation they on Dr. Sandy, but up till now, nobody knows say police don't call them for investigation.
Yeah, yes, it is not wrong for make we think say it's like a deafening silence from the 2nd of April to now. But let us give these institutions the opportunity to say, oh no, we don't hear them 7 bodies there. They don't come together. They don't call on we. They don't go publicly. They don't call on we. Let us act. So we're giving them this period up until the close of business of today. And let us see if waiting with a talk to them no make sense because the individual is above the law, or then go show we say no, there are processes and we have listened to the call of the people of Sierra Leone and we are going to act. We are waiting, and if we do not hear from them, as I have noted, we will come back to the public with a different position in respect of this matter.
Let me just play the devil's advocate as citizens then. Now, on the demand for the sacking or resignation by Dr. Sandy, if the President Julius Maada Bio, today pull a press release relieving Dr. Sandy of in duties, this will restore public confidence back on President Bio say that a listening president?
Exactly. In fact, now that make us say, I want to remain optimistic. I believe, say, President Biosef no go want for make this thing begin point to him. Say, oh, now he no agree for sack him when he gets, or for relieve him or suspend him when he gets the authority. I know the president will not want to find himself in that position. And so he's going to listen. And that optimism is what I am exercising. Say, let us wait by today and maybe tomorrow and see what will come out from where we don't come public. So we don't pull out the joint press release. We don't come na online television where the world they see we and the hear we. Let we wait and see, and let we believe, say, the president in restoring the confidence where the people in get by in government will take action. So we will be satisfied, say, he's a listening government, he has a listening government, and it is listening to the people of Sierra Leone when it comes to issues of transparency and accountability.
Forgery na criminal offense. Just like we only asked the government and the president for relief. So just like we think the president will relieve him of in duty, waiting at the next step of the 7 years when they come together. Are you going to press charges against the minister?
It's a criminal matter, all right? So Naimeka don't say, we press release further today and call on the police for investigate and this matter further, and if possible, relieving or resigning or suspending Dr. Sandy, nor affect the right for any other further criminal action. It does not. As you say, forgery and fraudulent act, na criminal act then. And the police, I don't note again, say, the police no need for get a complainant. We don't see situations where police don't investigate matter without a complainant. The our own matter. There was no complainant, but the police look and say, waiting then at the video as it was, they look and say then for investigate and then investigate and then charge. So if now there is a report, you don't have to wait for any complainant. This is a public servant. You have to hold him accountable. And so they should come and take up this matter. They say they are police, they are force for good. Let us see the action that they are force for good. Let us hear from the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. These are the people, not all, then small teacher, then where they do small thing. This now una person way we entrust with power. Say, do ya work for we, govern we with integrity and sincerity. And now he's found wanting based on the report of the investigation. The anti-corruption should come in. He's a public servant. He was actively participating, or he actively participated in obtaining fraudulent or fictitious court order. That is corruption. Whatever orders or authorities he use, that is a subject for the Anti-Corruption Commission for investigate. So we are calling on them too for making them take up this issue and make we hear from them.
Quickly before we wrap up, the police detaining or inviting a sitting minister not unprecedented. We see that happen at this country. For example, they term them for the Honorable Kemosi saying alleged cocaine scandal. We still say the then president hand over to the police. We see another minister by then, Mahmoud Tarawali, allegation of rape. The former president hand down to the police and relieve her off in duty. Take investigation. But under this regime, now things then this way the citizens not don't see they happen yet. You hopeful as a citizen now, take off the hats as a PRO where they represent the civil society organization there. You hopeful say President Biogo set an example on Dr. Sandy say it's too much allegation, then they overweight, let them investigate you.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. Say, sometimes if person a first-time offender, you go say, okay, lay you temper justice with mercy. Lay you sorry for him. But this man, this minister, don't they do 1 term, 2 term? I should say, President Sidom go say, no, it's too much. And it is because of those recounted incidents that I believe President not get for allow this again for be swept under the carpet. Because well, I don't give you chance once. It gets every reason for justify say, no, I have to act tough on you now because I don't give you chance once, twice, thrice, and this is coming again. And this not only about your private matter, it get to do with you as a public servant, your integrity. Where we believe say now based on that belief they say you're sincere, you get integrity. You're upright. Now that's make I appoint you for be a minister for come help me for govern the state. Now, based on findings, you have proved otherwise. So I can relieve you. We believe, say, President, if the public not all a certain impression, say things have been happening and he's not been acting, this is an opportunity for making act and show we see, no, I know waiting at the do, and I am showing you that I now have reasons for take action against this public servant for an infraction on irresponsibility and integrity and transparency.
All right, many thanks. Claude Bami Davis, where you join me this morning for can discuss on this on a position. Well, in name na Claude Bami Davis, in a public relations officer for Lawyers Society. But today, you know, they are so as a public relations officer for Lawyers Society only. They represent 7 civil society organizations. Them we make up of Citizens Advocacy Network CAN. You get IGR, when at the Institute of Governance Reform. You get Campaign for Good Governance, CGG. You get the Citizens Barrier of Cause, Lawyers Society, and other one. They will come together and pull a press statement to sign the demand, say, His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Madabio, for sack Dr. Dennis Moinina Sandy, when are the Minister of Works and Public Assets, or the Minister himself resign because they believe, say, if forged divorce documents them, where this then say a criminal act and it is against transparency and accountability. Now that we'll discuss now the program this morning.